Hello everyone, welcome back. So a lot has changed since I last filmed a video in the field. Firstly, I've built this composter here and been, as you can see, composting quite a few things, many leaves at the minute obviously, and the odd few bits of vegetable scraps and things like that. And obviously now the field is completely grassed over. I've done a few rows of potatoes here this year. I've harvested the majority of them now. I think I have one row left, or one and a bit rows. I've got one over here going to the bottom of the field, and then one at the bottom of this row. So the last few days I've been taking lots of cuttings of things, laurel, griselinia, privet, pittosporum, hebe, all sorts of hedging plants to grow on and then eventually root and sell. So all I've been doing, if you're interested, is just digging over the soil so it's nice and soft, removing the worst of the leaves. Then when you take a cutting, as you can see there's lots of loose leaves on the floor, what you do is you remove the bottom leaves that would be touching the soil. That way it stops it from rotting. So I've been doing this for the past few days, and this goes almost completely to the bottom of my field. I'm really sorry about the camera quality. I am looking at getting a new camera, as the one on my phone isn't very good for movement at the minute, although it doesn't look too bad now. But here's where I think I had the potatoes, was from like here right along down to those two bits of wood there. So I've harvested a fair few, and then I've just got this row going to the top of the field, and then I've got a little bit more at the bottom, but I'm working my way through this. I should be sort of through these quite soon, because they aren't the biggest potatoes. For a decent roast I need like sort of 5 or 6 potato plants worth. So this area is a bit overgrown now, but this was where I initially started growing things in the field. Here's my cottage garden bed from the time-lapse video I made. As you can see, a few flowers in there. I need to get around to weeding that soon, but it's quite low on my list of priorities at the minute. Also have a few more cuttings there, but not many, only a few, like ash and some laurel I think. And then perennial kale. Yeah, perennial kale I've got here. Did have some more, but obviously the rabbits have done a fair good job of demolishing these, as you can see. But they are growing back, which is good. So the dahlias, they're all finished now. I'm going to be cutting these in a few days. I just want them to reabsorb as much nutrients as they can from the plants into the tubers first. So once they're starting to look like these, and they sort of become a little bit like straw, the actual stalks of them, I'll cut them and then put another layer of straw on top. I would dig them, but there's an awful lot of them, and you can get away with just, heavily mulching them over the winter, and the majority of them will be fine. In fact, most years I have some in pots. I don't even bother to mulch them, and touch wood, they normally do okay. So that's my plan for these anyway. Although I might dig up some of my favourite ones. I will put a picture of some of the dahlias back in the summer when they're doing really well. At the end of the video. I think this is the last flower just here, but I will put some at the end of the video if you'd like to see what they were looking like. I've also got cauliflower planted along this row. And piece of advice, if anybody has trouble with white cabbage butterfly, which is something that I fall victim to every year with any brassicas I grow, plant nasturtiums, because for some reason, I do not know why, nasturtiums prevent the worst of them. A few of them have been nibbled on a bit, especially this one here, but the majority of them have survived that, and now it's just obviously the slugs and things like that I've got to keep an eye out for. I've also had some really good carrot harvest this year, which I planted at the start of the field being ready to grow things. And here's my second lot that I've started growing, and as you can see, they're already at a decent size, and I only planted them sort of a couple of months ago, so these should be ready sort of over winter and early spring, as we like to harvest them a little bit smaller just so that we can get through them. Otherwise we have a lot of vegetables to get through. Also got lots of lettuce up through here. These are all doing really well. Again, just slowly harvesting a few of these. Normally I'd take off just like the single leaves and use them, but as I have so many, I can just harvest the whole plants, and they're quite useful for that. And what I've been doing is harvesting multiple at once and then leaving the roots on them and then just sticking them in a bowl of water in the windowsill. Keeps them alive for a bit longer and keeps the roots nice and fresh. I've also got some white turnip here, which I've actually been just taking and putting raw in sandwiches. They're quite nice. And I don't think there's anything here. I did plant some things, but I don't think any of them made it. Yeah, I think I had some more turnips up here, but none of them have actually made it. So in here I've got some artichokes. Anybody that grows them, do I need to lift these over winter, or can I just mulch them? And you obviously weed them and then mulch them, and will they be all right like that? Thank you. Then just along here I've just been digging over all of this to put some more cuttings in, which should hopefully, when they begin to grow as well, sort of shelter my growing area along the field, but that's not really the intended purpose. Got some more carrots here, just in this little area here. And I'm really impressed with my radishes this year, so I went with an heirloom variety, and let me just harvest one so you can see. They are giant. That is a radish, believe it or not. I did get one the other day that was over a foot long when I pulled it, but they are doing really well. I'm really impressed with them. I think they're called Daikon giant radish or something like that, but they're really nice. Sometimes radishes can be quite hard, but these are a good flavour, and they're good for sandwiches and things like that as well. They're very soft. Again, just digging over a bit more here. I'm going to be digging this right down, probably to the bottom of the field here, unless I can see anything that's growing in there that I want to keep over winter, but I think it is just overgrown here, and I've harvested the majority of it. And here's some more radishes. Don't know how these ones have done. A lot of them are going to seed now, but because they're sort of lower in the field, it's much more wet down here and not that much light, so most things that grow down here don't do so well. However, these do seem to be doing all right. It's just made them all go to seed a bit early, but that doesn't matter. In fact, I'll harvest that one now before it goes to seed, because it's another. There we go. That was what I was talking about. They're really good radishes. So I've also put in a shed here. I bought it second hand for £50. It is quite a decent shed actually for £50. I need to put some wood preserver and like Creocoat on the front of that, but it's been useful and you can't really see inside, but just keeping some of my tools in there saves me carting them down every day. And for those of you that have asked about my polytunnel, I kept meaning to show you the hoops. Here they all are. So this is everything for the polytunnel. And I realise my camera's gone a bit funny again, but that gives you an idea of what they're going to be. So these would go in pairs. You put them together and then form. I think it's 120 foot by 27 foot. I think roughly that anyway. So it's a decent sized tunnel. However, I might put it in two halves instead, going up the field, because the bottom of the field is very muddy and I don't really want it to flood. Anyway, it's beginning to get quite dark down here now, so I'm gonna end the video here. just wanted to say that, you know, I am back. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but I do intend on making some more videos soon. And I should have some pictures of the dahlias now if you'd like to see those. Thanks for watching. Bye.